players, Tatiana is here. Very often if you want to practice jazz, you need backing tracks. And this is a kind of a problem. For example, you can practice your bass lines with just a metronome without the backing track. But when it comes to improvisations, you need the chords, right? You need to feel that harmony and you need to find the backing tracks. So you have a few options. You can buy them, you can find them through some apps, but very often they're too expensive, or they have a sound of a very bad quality, or they're in the wrong key, or whatever. It's been a problem for me. So for my YouTube channel, for example, I often create the backing tracks myself, recording the second bass for the bass line and recording the guitar chords or the piano chords for accompaniment and then playing solo above that all. But now I don't have to do it anymore. I have a solution. Today I want to introduce you to a new app I've been using, which is called Quartet and which solved a lot of my problems, and I want to show you how that app can be useful for you too, especially if you are playing jazz. Quartet is a backing track and practice app that lets you customize jazz standards, progressions and grooves. It's like having your own jazz band in your pocket. Piano, drums and even bass lines you can mute or change. You can choose from 8 alternative mixes for a jazz piece to choose the one that works the best for your part. For us bass players, this is golden, because we can drop out the bass part and step right in playing our own walking lines, grooves or solos. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 apps or volumes, Quartet 1, 2, 3 and 4, and altogether they have about 500 jazz standards, and they all work together, they are all synced. You can search for a song you want to practice with the title of that song, or the name of a composer, or the name of a famous performer. I've downloaded that app for my phone and I also can use it on my laptop, and I don't have to buy it the second time for the second device because my devices work as a pair. The sound is very real. That's because it was recorded live. There were 9 real jazz musicians, ones of the best in Europe, participating in those recordings. So you are playing with these people, kind of. The app lets you choose from real jazz standards, change key signatures and tempos instantly, super handy for transposition practice. It does sound a little bit unnatural when you change the tempo and/or the key too much, but it still works for practice. Of course, the original tempo and the key are the best. You can also make as many repeats as you want and use the instruments you want. When you remove a certain instrument from the backing track, there are no traces of it that stay behind. It's all very clear and professionally made. And you can add a count in before playing, 1 or 2 bars, so you can prepare before jumping in. Finding the accompaniment to practice with in jazz is challenging, and with Quartet app you can do it easily and you can adjust the tempo you play in. So for example, if you are not comfortable enough, you can decrease the tempo and practice first slow and then bring it up. You can work on your 2-feel or 4-feel grooves, you can experiment with your improvisations, all these phrases, chromatic approaches, etc. And of course, you can practice locking in with the drummer. The drummer is not sitting next to you, but it's still real and the feel is very strong. To play a bass line for a piece which I've never worked with, so it's going to be the first time. It feels like you are playing with a real band, and that's the whole point. When you're tired of playing the swing, you can play something Latin. I just type here Latin and look how many options I'm getting across all 4 apps. because they all work together. I'm choosing all or nothing at all for now. I can adjust the key and the tempo if I want, but I quite like it in the original version. In this app you will not get the tunes of these standards, and the titles always look like in the style of. This is very smart, because with the original titles and with the tunes there would be lots of copyright problems and we would not be able to learn from practicing with this app. However, chord progressions cannot be copyrighted, and here we can play. You can't export PDFs with chord progressions, but you can export the audios easily and use it all royalty-free with all these beautiful sounds, and this is honestly awesome. I'm definitely going to use them in the videos on my channel, and I started in this video. So if you are a jazz bassist looking to get more out of your practice, Quartet app is definitely worth checking out. It has the best available and adjustable sound for backing tracks compared to the other sources you can find. You also can build playlists of your favorite jazz standards, and the playlists are synced across all 4 apps. If your friends or band members use Quartet as well, you can exchange and share their playlists with them. It really helps you to get that real band feeling, and it might get you more prepared for the next jam session. You can buy just one app or volume out of 4 just to try if you want, but there are also bundles of them available and the cost is reduced this way. You can find some links below this video if you are interested. Have you tried Quartet app or similar apps before? Let me know in the comments what works best for you. Also, I have an idea. If I see that people are interested, we can choose the track from the first volume and make a friendly competition playing our best lines with it, with prizes. Now it's October 2025 and let's say we can make that competition in November 2025. Let me know if you are in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want, so that you don't miss more bass tips. Happy grooving, see you next time!